Right, hello everyone, welcome back to FTRL. We're here for round 2 in Division 1 and we're at the Sakir circuit in Bahrain. Joining me tonight in the commentary box, once again, is FTRL Panini and the Preheated Oven. Evening, gents.
Hello mate, how are you?
Better than last week. I didn't muff the intro.
You didn't stammer, it's fine.
Right, being in the middle of the desert, I'm not expecting them to need their wet weather tyres. There's more chance of a sandstorm than a rainstorm.
It looks fairly dry at the moment, but I happen to know that Tico and Dutch were practicing wet weather around here yesterday.
It's a strange one. I think the game mechanics might be a bit further advanced than that to realise that, you know, we're sort of in the middle of Bahrain, you know. I don't really think they know what water is. So, never know.
We'll find out tomorrow when I host the lobby.
That's very true. It's very true.
Yes, the blue flag lobby curse.
I mean, God knows with you lot. Be looking forward to this one though. It's going to be an interesting race for strategy-wise.
Oh.
Yeah, well, not just strategy. I mean, on-track action, FTRL races of the past, this has always been up there as a race of the season contender.
It's
known you and onto the podium to have some intriguing battles around here.
Yeah, we've had one or two. Shout out to Connor.
No, it'll be an interesting race. You know, it's a tricky technical circuit with a couple of straights as well for DRS zones and overtaking.
Well, the corner that Plexits has just gone round, turn 12, that's going to be a possible killer.
Is that the hairpin or just after?
It's the fast uphill right-hander at the end of Sector 2, the Bendel bottleneck.
Now that inside curb is deathly.
Yeah, it is indeed.
But so they need to avoid that at all costs, to be honest.
So yeah, you alluded to strategy, James. So
yes.
What are we thinking? I mean, we know a one-stop is doable, but most of the guys will probably go soft to medium. Although, are any of them likely to go all out attack and try the super?
Well, I mean,
sorry, on here.
Dying. Well, I was just saying, you know, that they the faster drivers on track, you know, the ones that are up there with title contending, definitely have the pace to do a two-stop. And the thing is, the pace difference from a medium tyre to a super soft tyre, you know, if you can keep the super soft tyres enough to catch up that 20-second difference from the pit stop, it's definitely doable. But like you say, I think the one stop's more likely to be done by people. Soft to medium, I don't think the super softs can be stretched that far to do a one stop. But I think the preferred option from the lads tonight will probably be the soft to mediums.
Yeah, we've got 3 guys that have gone out on the super soft for now, but I wouldn't expect them to put in too quick a lap on those at this point. As Brand sets the first time.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, you know, I mean, Joe and Brand, I think have got it right. They've gone out on the medium tyre first, sort of just get a feel for it. This cat goes fastest, and Remco followed after. Yeah,
me,
these,
me and Pagani happen to know that Remco has quite openly said he's going to go super soft.
Yeah.
He's going to go for it.
After his race in the Performance League, Wednesday night, 8 PM, tune in. I wouldn't put it past him to have the pace to be able to do that. You know, he's a competent driver enough to be able to do that. So, be interesting strategy. Really will. See where he comes out within the pack. I think with this, yeah, I think with this track, I think position will from the pit stops. You know, on track will matter more. Your actual position, rather than trying to get undercuts and overcuts. It's just your on track position sort of matters more if you're going to do the two-stop strategy. You sort of need to push early on and get as far up the field as you can prior to your pit stop. So after the pit stop, well, then you've got less ground to make up.
Well, Aaron's popped into P3 with a 27.8 on the medium.
Jesus, that's fast.
A very good lap.
See now,
I think the three of us will quite happily admit that we'll be lucky to hit that on a soft tyre.
I'll be looking to hit that on a super soft tyre.
But I mean, this is the thing now. You know, that is a fast time on a medium tyre for Aaron, right? He could wait till everyone's done their laps, sort of sit off now and just see where the field, you know, ends up and where he will end up in this pack. Just purely because that one lap that he's done on his mediums, it gives him fresh tyres for the race. It gives him the soft option tyre if he needs to. It's really going to be down to the strategy today. I really do think. Like you say, if we've got a couple of runners on the super soft tyre, this will really make an interesting race.
So I'm not sure whether or not Dutch just had a cruisy sort of lap on those mediums, but he's almost a second slower than Aaron on the same tyre.
I think both him and Tico have both gone for a slower lap. I mean, Tico's on a 32.
Yes.
Just an extra warm-up lap, do you think?
Yeah, maybe. Well, you are right. I mean, the medium tyre does take a very long time to get warmed up. And I think for Aaron to pull that out the bag on a one lap after the mediums, he's either warmed them tyres up perfectly or he's just ridiculously quick on them.
Raver's in the chat asking Joe Burns to carry him. Raver's unfortunately not racing tonight. Work kind of got in the way.
I mean, noobs do tend to need to be carried, so it's good that he knows that.
See, I think everyone in the stream and at FTRL, I think, are more disappointed that Ravers didn't quit his job. So, Ravers, mate, I'm disappointed. You know, Brexit hasn't happened for this, mate. I think you need to leave.
Tico's just gone third on a 27.4 on the medium, so yeah, he must have just done a second slow lap on them.
Yeah.
Build up some paper.
Yeah.
I'm just going to check in with Panda and see what he's up to.
There's two lads I really want to talk about for this race, especially, and that's Tim 12 and T1000 Zach. Both of them showed ridiculous pace in Spain in round one. You know, both scoring points. They both can score the points. Do you reckon they'll go for the pole? Will they get the extra 2 points, or do you think strategy will change and they'll just go for the softer tyre, and try and work their way through the field?
See, I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I'd always play the long game.
Yeah, play it safe.
I'm not quick enough to go.
I'll probably
anyway.
That's it. I'm probably not quick enough to get the pole anyway. So the long game's always the way.
Yeah, it's the only option because we're not able to do pole.
Correct.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the times here on the left hand side of my screen, and I'm thinking, well, that's really quick. to put it short and simple.
Fair to say the Renaults are evenly matched.
Yeah. I think that's a fair comment.
Well, Aaron will be getting annoyed in the party again because they're always 1/10 away from each other. And
Well,
it's even closer today.
the fat controller himself.
What would annoy Aaron more, the fact that Panda's out-qualified him for now by 1/100th of a second, or the fact that Panda's DRS is working?
That was a bit of a stinker. Oh, Sim 12 has come out for his outlap, as has Plexits. Interesting that Co-Andy has stayed inside.
We've got two guys showing their appreciation for that time on the mediums from Pico. With CJ and Rivers in the chat. I mean, a 27.4 on a medium tail is ridiculous.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my fastest lap on a super soft set on time trial is a 27.1. And he's 2 compound of tyre slower than me. So, that's fantastic.
I'm 27.6. I'm in trouble.
I know. Well, Aaron has said, I hate my teammate. I'm sure the feeling's mutual, mate.
Matt calls is in the chat, he can't wait to get destroyed by the Renaults tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. Matt, I must remind you that the long straight does indeed have a pit wall on it. So again, just be wary, mate. You know, it's all about
beware of trying to get the slipstream.
Yeah, mate. Unfortunately, Simon's neck has not recovered, and he is claiming compensation for your reckless driving. There will not be a stream where I do not bring this up, mate. So get used to it.
In other news, we've got the preheated oven for the rest of the season. There you go.
Exactly. I'm here.
Yep, he's just signing the paperwork now.
Yeah, I've signed on a 4-year deal from Yeovil Commentary Box. I've swapped sport. So that's always fantastic. Oh, Andy has put in the chat that he's due to very little practice, he's pretty much winging the race. So yeah, that's fine, Andy. I'm sure you'll be fine, mate.
As long as he keeps his front wing intact.
That does help. Rave, as I said, where there's blame, there's claim.
He's not wrong.
Matt Cause has said, I can't believe you dare say those jokes considering how much you got destroyed last week. So,
what I'm hoping is Matt Cause has practiced this track so much that he's just bored of driving it and gets really sloppy and careless.
Yeah, well, that's how it does.
You know what I want to happen? Him to bottle it around Bendel Curve and then crash into the pit wall.
That would be the stuff dreams are made of. Right, Remco's done his hot lap and it's a 26.4 on the super soft tyre.
Ox has done a 27.1 on the soft. That's not a bad time. T1000 Zach with a 27.3 on the supers. Or I believe that is the soft, isn't it? I don't think he's done a lap on his super softs yet. That's interesting. Andy has said that he's not actually completed a race without damaging his front wing. It's a great omen. It is indeed, my friend.
And then you got Matt Cause just lying in the chat saying he's done 25 minutes of practice. He's been on 4 hours today.
The thing is, Matt Cause doesn't understand time difference. It must be something to do with that Danish blood heritage. I don't think they're very intelligent. It's probably why they eat with horns and Viking helmets and things. So, shout out to the Scandinavians anyway. You're all weird. Tim 12 was pulled out of his lap. His pull-out game there was completely strong. I don't think he had a great section too.
I've got Onyx Mare setting 27 flat on the soft to go second.
Ooh, that's a fantastic time for a soft tyre, but it's just shadowed by Aaron and Tico and Panda as well on the medium tyres.
Well, what I mean,
Tico especially.
It's still early to be setting times on the soft tyre, so I wonder if these guys are still thinking about the super soft.
Well, as you say that, Chicken Guy, I believe, is on a flying lap on the super soft. He's coming around the last corner now. Mr. Consistent himself.
He's pitting.
And he's pulled it. He's pulled out. Won't make the same joke again. Co-Andy has finally decided to leave his pit box. That's fantastic. He's come out of his comfort zone and actually driven onto the track. His phobia of damaging his front wing, obviously. It's a serious phobia. Not to be messed with.
To be fair, I had that phobia like last season and the season before it, and the season before that.
You don't need a front wing, mate. You're fine, don't worry. Super Jules pills as well has come out for their outlap.
Got Macos with a bold prediction in the chat. That Remco will most likely get pole, but his strategy will screw him over in the race. Well, we will see.
All the Div 2 lads, that's fantastic to see you all in there.
Looks like Tico's on a hot lap on the soft tyre, going around the Bendel bottleneck.
Let's get on board with Tico then. Is that a corner cut? No.
I think he might just be alright with that one.
Bit of a track extend rather. He goes second fastest, and that's a fantastic time.
26.7 on the soft tyre. God, I'm glad I'm not in Div 1.
I know, I know.
Tico is.
That's why you have the special people commentating. I think he's happy with it.
Well, he's not going to have time to get back and go for another lap, so...
Zach is on the super soft, and he's about to start his lap.
See, now, like I've said earlier to the lads in the comments watching the stream, you know, the two stop, you know, if you have the pace, can work. For those that will finish the race on the medium tyre, you know, the super soft is a lot quicker than that, probably about a second a lap quicker, more than that maybe, than the medium compound tyre. So depending on how bad your tyre wear is, towards the end of the race it could work. But that you've got to make, you know, no room for any errors, slides, slips. If those tyres degrade quicker than what they normally do, then you're pretty much stuffed, which is a shame.
Oh,
Dutch is... Yep.
26.5, are you kidding me? On the soft?
Well, McLaren boys are looking good for the start of the season for constructors, aren't they?
You've got Matt Cause in the chat attempting to apply some shade on Sai, and I'm not going to read the comment because it doesn't deserve to be spoken.
That's fine, I'll read it. Tico's time is around 1.5 seconds faster than Simon's time trial.
Well, that's just not true.
Simon doesn't crash into pit walls, mate.
That is true.
And he doesn't wear Viking helmets when he eats his breakfast.
Also true. 26.1.
Oh my god. What a time. The fact he's come close to a 25 around Bahrain is incredible.
Well, Remco's about to start his hot lap. Has he got an answer?
From the super soft player. Everyone else isn't. You're gone up the soft player.
I think Cress is happy with a 7th place here, providing no one overtakes him. No, Andy didn't actually manage to set a time here.
Remco's got a Toro Rosso not too far in front of him.
Is that a Plexits or Dutch? It's indeed Plexits. Both of them on fast laps. Plexits opting for the soft compound tyre. Yeah, and in front of him is Super Jules Pills again on the soft compound tyre. Two lads on the super softs I can imagine flying away.
Ooh, so Panda
Jules
set 27.1 on the soft, but he's then gone on to do another lap on the soft. I mean, I can't make the tyres last that long, so I wouldn't suggest that strategy, but obviously Panda's a better driver than me, so...
I feel like Panda definitely feels there's something in that Renault, in the soft compound tyre.
And George starting his 3rd lap on the soft tyre.
Risky, but it could work.
Right, Remco's coming to the line. Can he respond to Zach's pole time? He can't. He can't improve. Plexits goes P4.
Currently in 14th, Aaron. Coming around the last corner now. 27.8 his time. Where will he find himself? He finds himself 11th with a 27.2. Just outside the top 10. gives him the option for fresher tyres for the race.
I've just double checked Remco's time. It's at exactly the same lap time. 2 separate sets of super soft tyres. But he's consistent.
He's consistent, if nothing else.
Well, as long as he can carry that into the race, there's always chance of an upset.
Guy Carter in the chat expressing his desire for Remco to do well.
The grid is incredibly close.
Yep, a fact that's been pointed out in the comments.
Yeah.
Aaron did his lap in Rich and not Max, because he's a noob. So that's why he didn't improve as much as Panda.
No, Aaron, you did it in Max. It's just because you're a fat controller. Unfortunately, the weight sort of slowed you down a bit, mate.
I mean, the fact that there's 1 whole second separating P2 to P14.
Yeah. Tim 12. All you managed
Yes.
to see? No.
I was just about to bring that up. His time trial times are quite impressive, I must state that. However, on the super soft tyres, maybe he'd rather start from the back of the grid, maybe get the tyre advantage, maybe didn't fancy going for the top 10 this time. You know, he found that in Spain he had the pace, so maybe he's just trying to work his way through the grid. As T1000 Zach takes his first pole in FTRL. Remco second and Dutch in third. There's some fast lap times there.
Yeah, Co-Andy not setting a time. Only driver not to do so.
Joe has said he's not very happy with his lap in the slightest to set a 27.3. Obviously for me that's quite an impressive time, but obviously he feels he can improve.
Be lapping me in 4 laps.
Yeah, anyone could lap you, mate. It's not hard.
P4 last person.
Alright, mate. Calm down. We'll see when we get to France. Anyway, Div 1. Best of luck to the drivers then in the chat who are watching the stream.
They'll just be finalising their strategies at the moment. So how do we think this one's going to play out?
If I was the 2 front runners, they're both on super softs, I'd go super soft to super soft. I'd end the tyre on the medium compound. I'd just try and get as far ahead as I can on the super softs. Obviously you can split it then and then go in the mediums in the middle, but I'd probably go 2 super softs.
I've never done a 2-stop round here. However, I know if you pit before lap 8, your mediums are going to struggle to make it to the end, from personal experience.
Yeah. Anyway, formation lap. I think the thing is with a soft tyre, providing that you maintain them to a decent extent. You know, the tyre wear is bad around Bahrain, but it's nothing compared to say Spain or France, Singapore as well. I just think,
Hungary.
Yeah, Hungary. I just think as long as they maintain their tyres, I think they'll be absolutely fine. The one stop's obviously the easiest strategy, potentially the fastest, depending on how quick these 2 stoppers are. We know that T1000 Zach obviously holds great pace in that car. Remco obviously has shown that in performance. I think it's just now they've got to prove themselves with this 2 stop. Be interesting. It's nice to see a bit of strategy change in the race, and maybe some of the Div 2 drivers can take some tips from this.
I mean, we've got a handful of guys that have opted for the medium tyre to start. So, Co-Andy, Chicken Guy, Joe Burns and Aaron.
Yeah, the medium to start on, it gives you the faster tyre towards the end of the race. The bad thing from the medium is you're guaranteed an awful start, and they take a couple of laps to warm up. So providing these lads on the mediums can hold their positions, they're always in for a shout of anywhere on the grid. So that's always a good start.
Oh, Raver's giving us some insider knowledge. that Remco did go super soft to medium in Spain in a practice race and was still quick. So we'll just say we appreciate your insider info and keep it coming as long as possible, Ravens.
Well, I'm telling you now, if they can pull off a one-stop on a super soft tyre, I would be very, very impressed. That is incredible pace on the super softs, good tyre management as well. Right, so from Co-Andy's perspective, are you slowing down the grid at this point in time?
We've had that before in Bahrain. I remember a certain on the podium did it and got 12 cars disqualified.
Once again, shout out to Connor.
Right then. Drivers are all lined up. The lights are on the way.
Catamies has jumped the start.
It's a great start from Remco here. Pulling us alongside Zach. Will he go for the dive into turn one?
No, he thinks better of it. Zach holds the lead. Meanwhile, behind, Plexit and Dutch were side by side.
Tico's got off to a slow start. He's dropped a position there to Onyx. Dutch trying to break the slipstream. He's covering the inside line of Plexit. Plexit's right behind him here. Looking for the switch back. There's no room. Dutch covers him off. Panda's had a great start up into 8th place. Just behind Oxox now. Fantastic start. Aaron has managed to hold his position from the start.
He's got a Haas up the inside. That's Bran.
Bran covers him off well. Commentator's curse there.
Oh, and
Jules and Panda.
Yep. Jules has lost some front wing there.
Ran a bit too deep, trying to push Panda out there. Krez is on the back of this. What can Krez do here? It's a decent start from the front runners.
Yeah, Jules struggling with that damaged wing.
Front runners are all starting to pull their own little space away now. Dutch, Remco and Plexits are all within half a second of each other.
Team 12 is very close.
I'll say Aaron's under attack. He's going to defend to the inside. Yep, good defensive driving from Aaron.
Co-Andy has made up 2 positions on his medium tyre. He's overtaken Cat and Chicken Guy. Cat, I believe, is serving that penalty.
So, a lap and a half down and Remco's already out of DRS range.
T1000 Zach really pushing it here.
Co-Andy's
got a fantastic run from behind Joe there. Tim 12's gone up deep back at the inside of him, however, and Tim 12 keeps his place. Good battle for 13th here.
Yeah, Tim 12 definitely falling back of Aaron since turn 1.
He was under pressure from Joe, I believe, and Joe pushed him wide into halfway through 62. It was like turn 8, I think. Aaron is starting to pull away on those medium tyres and he's keeping up with the soft runners. Now this is perfect for Aaron. If he can maintain the pace of the soft tyre, and then as the soft tyre wears off he'll be much quicker than them. So he just needs to sort of stay within DRS range, sort of not do anything too risky, just maintain his pace. And
always go for him. I don't think he
intended that. We've got to remember Jules has got front wing damage, so he'll be struggling around some of these corners. Aaron's going to go for a switchback.
Has it worked?
Yeah, it has indeed. Aaron's going to be well pleased with himself with that.
The switchback has worked. However, it will now make the track moist from Aaron, so he might be in trouble later on.
Yeah, he may be suffering severe head pains as his head inflates inside that helmet.
The fat controller has got even larger in ego and size. He's now got to retake that place off Bran. Anyway, 6th to 3rd. Decent race on here from the soft tyre runners.
So they're all
Remco
quite
isn't
evenly
pulling
spaced out at the moment. And we've lost Katamise. Is that where I think it was? Or was he...
I think it'll be a bit further before because he was 20 seconds back, wasn't he?
Yeah, he served a stop-go, didn't he?
Yeah.
Shame, you should never count yourself out. It's FTRL, the worst can happen. Like 7 finishes in Spa.
Yeah, but that race didn't occur. I didn't take part in that race.
I'm just looking here, and the super soft runners obviously would like to pull out a gap. Zach's
Yeah, well,
pulling out gently,
if anything, Dutch is getting closer to Remco. He looks closer this lap than he has done previous laps.
And the thing is, Remco really needs to break this DRS with Dutch because the whole strategy of the super soft tyre is
And he's
mainly
wide out
based
turn
around
10 again.
Dutch gets a good exit as well, using overtake mode.
So really,
Can't quite catch up.
is Zach burning through these tyres a little bit too quickly though? I mean, we've gone a second and a half quicker than Remco, who was already quick. I mean, that would suggest a 2-stop.
He's managing his ERS deployment quite well though, to be fair to him.
In the background I can see Tico's getting closer to Onyx. We'll go and take a look at that.
Chicken Guy has retaken his place on Coandy. Coandy, I believe, is going to look down the inside into the last corner. He thinks better of it. He's going to line up and move now to the straight.
Yep, Dutch is past Remco and Tico past Onyx. Onyx is coming back. There's a bit of wheel banging.
Coandy has retaken his place on Chicken Guy to regain 15th place.
I don't know how happy Tico's going to be with that move from Onyx, but he's still in it. But he is under attack from Ox now.
I'd suggest not too happy, but like there's still 24 laps to go, so I mean there's plenty of time.
Plenty of time, plenty of time. D1000 Zach is probably stretching his lead now by only 10th a lap, and considering he's on a much faster tyre.
Well, those tyres should be at least 30-40% wear by now.
Got to bear in mind they've done a quali lap as well.
Yeah, I don't believe they're going to be happy. We never know. I want them to prove me wrong.
Right.
Dutch has gained 2 tenths in that last sector as well.
Tico's lining up Onyx again.
I think you'll save him for the back straight, don't you? Div1's pills with a 3-second penalty. Corner cutting. Tico opens his DRS. Onyx covers to the inside. Tico goes round him. He should have the straight line speed to just go around him. Onyx tucks in behind. Tico covers
And at this time Tico manages to cover the inside off as well, which he didn't do on the previous lap.
Mistakes.
Yep.
Learn from the mistakes. He's now going to catch Plexit's as Remco has fallen into Plexit's hands.
Yeah, Onyx is coming back. Tico's had to defend. Good helicopter shot for that defensive move. Thank you, game.
I tell you who's having a... Well, I was just going to say about the guy in front of Brand, you know, Panda, he's having a very good race from his start. He's keeping up with Ox and Onyx, and Tico as well. You know, this is a good start to the race for Panda.
Well, Tico's just had another shove from Onyx in turn 10.
Oh, there's Ox in his battle as well.
Yeah,
wide nearly.
Tico's off the track and Onyx is
Onyx
round
is out.
and out.
He's been clipped there by Ox.
Oh! coming together between Tico and Ox through Bendel bottleneck.
Ox has taken out Tico and Onyx in one corner. Jesus, drama in scenes at the Rico.
Well, we said this one should be good, and so far, Bahrain is serving up a belter.
That's not what Tico wanted. Started towards the back of the grid from Spain, and now he's back at the back of the grid. And he's spun his car, so his tyres will be lit up. We'll have to go to the stewards. I think that one will with Ox.
Yep, I think they'll be looking at that.
Not quite sure what happened. I think what it did
is the Panda was right behind the incident, so he should have a good camera of it himself.
Well, speaking of that, that has promoted Panda into 6th place. You know, I think with the collision with Ox, I believe he just tried to go up the inside, and I think Onyx sort of cut him off, trying to defend, and flipped his rear left. I believe it sort of happened to the same, but the other way around with Tico, and Tico spun on Onyx.
Yeah.
Ox managed to keep his place.
Well, Tico's retired.
Tico has retired. Understandable.
Well, as unfortunate as all this is, we've got a decent battle brewing for P7 between Bran, Cress and Aaron.
See, now you look at this top 10. Aaron's the only one near the top 10. You know, inside the top 10, sorry, with the medium tyre. And he's keeping it with Cress and Bran, who are both on the soft tyre. Is he trying to make a move? Is he trying to overtake them, or do you think he's just trying to play it slow?
I think for now we'll just be using them to pull him along.
DRS, save his battery. Let's have a look on board with him. He's in overtake mode at the moment. With his DRS open, he's looking over at Bran. Yeah, he's saving his energy quite well, Aaron is.
Well, Cress is being made to go the long way round Bran, and that's a good move.
Oh,
that's also allowed Aaron to catch up there. Bran's looking down the inside of Cress.
They're 3 wide to turn 4.
Aaron for a switchback? No?
This is good. This is a good patient play from Aaron.
Oh, it's contact!
Oh, more drama as Bran's been spun round. Contact with Cress.
And Aaron's picked the both of them off.
The patient hunter got his prey. Fantastic there from Aaron. Easily done.
The patient fat controller saw his train leave the station.
The fat controller has organised his train station. All of his trains are on time. It's not Virgin Media trains. We rather have Thomas and James. We don't like Virgin. Right, back on board with Remco. Flexits has taken him. Didn't quite see when that was. These super softs must be on their way out.
Yeah, well, Dutch is right at the back of Zach. And he's going for P1.
Remco's in. Surely T1000 Zach now. Zach's got a pit next lap, surely. Remco has. He's put on the medium tyres. He is going for the one-stop, Remco.
And he's going to the full extreme of what I think these medium tyres can do.
20 laps on a medium compound tyre. Now, if Zach can just stay with Dutch. Oh dear.
Obviously, Remco is a better tyre conserver than I am, and also a better driver than I am. But I was approaching 82% wear, so I mean, even if he's saving like an extra 1% a lap, it's still going to be around the punch territory.
Yeah, I'm looking on board with Zach now, and he's just got to keep with Dutch to the end of this lap and just come in. There's not a lot, unfortunately, that he can do. If he can stretch these mediums now perfectly to the end of the race, he'll have 1 lap fresher mediums than Remco. Well, I think that's who he's racing today. Still, there's at least a second gap between him and Flexits, which is decent.
Just worth noting that Tim 12 has made some pretty decent progress. He's up 7 positions from his starting place. And Zach Pitts for a set of medium tyres.
According to the YouTube chat, we might have had some issues occurring from this race, but obviously we sorted out after the race.
We'll address that later.
Matt Cause has said that Krez's move around the outside is very reminiscent of him going around the outside of you, side.
If you've got footage of this, Matt, I'd like to see it because I can't remember it.
I can remember him going around the outside and into a pit wall.
Yeah, I've got that footage.
The crashes so far remind me of the pit wall incident, but...
Onyx has said that he's out of this league anyway. I mean, I'd hold some faith, mate. I mean, you've got the pace. It was just an unlucky collision, I believe. I think it was just a racing incident, but we'll see how the stewards think it. I think it was just sort of a closed-off gap. I think Ox didn't sort of give you any room. I think it was a racing incident from my perspective, but I guess we'll see what the footage says. I think Panda had a perfect view, and we'll have a look, mate. I wouldn't give up yet. It's only 2 races in. Got a whole season left to go, buddy.
So Zach came out to pit 2.5 seconds in front of Remco, and the gap is now 2 seconds. So Remco is closing while Zach's on cold air tyres.
Well, like I said, I mean the mediums take 3 laps to get warmed up, and that's the difficult thing. Excuse me, with a medium tyre, is they just take the mick to get warmed up. But they're a decent tyre around a lot of tracks. Medium tyres quite fast around Silverstone, I know that definitely. So it's there's definitely some pace in there. It's just how they manage it.
Joe's having a good race. I mean, he's up to P8, obviously a couple of pit stops, but he's right on the back of Tim 12.
I think the softs are on their way out.
Yeah, and you've got Panda starting to give Ox some food for thought.
But while that's happening, Aaron's actually catching up to Panda for that. So,
yeah, and I've just watched Panda out of turn 10. I think his rear tyres have cried enough. He was very squirrely out of there.
Sideways by any chance?
Yeah, I think he laid a couple of wavy black lines down on the exit there. maybe some brown streaks in his overalls.
I really hope not, because I'm borrowing those overalls and car for tomorrow. Oh no! At least clean the car. Car even.
Yeah, Jensen Button said to Fernando Alonso, "I'm going to pee in your seat." Panda's gone one further.
Dutch is into the pit, lap 11. He can definitely stretch his mediums now to the end.
Yeah, Panda's in 2, as is Tim 12. So busy pit lane now.
Right, so Aaron has to close this gap on Ox. Right, he closes this gap on Ox. He needs to be a decent amount of time quicker a lap, maybe 2-3 tenths a lap quicker than Ox, and the podium could be on now. He has to sort of push now on these medium tyres. Hope that when he pits, he'll come out ahead of Panda. Obviously on colder, not warm mediums, so he just needs to push now. Give a fast couple of in laps, and pray that he comes out ahead of Panda, giving him the push for the podium then on Ox.
Well, it's nice to see that the Div2 Ferrari banter is continuing, even in the YouTube stream comments.
Dutch has come out of pits in front of Zach by once. Wait, it was 1.7 seconds. It's now down below a second. Obviously.
Yeah, Dutch has got to get those mediums switched on, hasn't he?
Yeah, immediately. Well, both the Ferrari boys in a Div 2 are as useless as each other, so they just need to keep their heads on, stop arguing with each other.
Personally, I hope they argue for as long as possible and we see an implosion, but that's just mine.
You just know they're going to have a Ricardo and Verstappen at Azerbaijan soon, don't you?
Why wait for Azerbaijan? Do it tomorrow.
Let him die.
There's a nice long straight there. going down into turn 1.
Yeah, Matt, just go straight into the back of him, would you? Promotes me into the points. Chicken guy is actually in 5th place here, and he's stuck onto the back of Bran, and Bran has taken those soft tyres 12 laps longer than anyone else in the field.
Yo,
now, it's obviously going for a major
you've got Co-Andy as well. He's up into 3rd place, and he didn't even set a lap time in qualifying.
His pace is looking decent on those mediums, Andy, by the looks of things. I mean, Aaron's taken the Annette lead. 4-second gap to Joe, who I believe was 2 places behind him. Hammer Time is coming out with the excuses already, saying he's struggling tomorrow, he doesn't like Bahrain.
Now, when people say this, I just don't believe them.
No.
Oh, I don't like this track, and they go and... yeah.
I just know Hammer Time's won 6 eSports with Veloce, and he's actually gone to Dubai to win the final. Dutch sits the fastest time.
Yeah, he's settling into those medium tyres now. He's Dutch.
Yeah, Chicken Guy's run a bit deep into the first corner.
Oh,
Chicken Guy really losing it there.
I was on board with Dutch then, and even I had a bit of a loose moment, shall we say.
Yeah. I mean, how many laps would you recommend taking these mediums? Would you say 18, 19?
You probably want to do maybe 12 on the soft.
12 on the soft, do you reckon? And,
so if you get to 17 and box, I would think, off the medium.
Yeah. We've got a long way to go for the mediums still, for them to pit. Everyone now in the field is on the medium compound tyre. Super Chill's Pills taking up the rear. Obviously he had front wing damage at the start, so his pit stop was a bit slower than everyone else. Still on the back of Tim 12, however. Catching.
We've got Ox and Panda squabbling over P9. T1000 Zach is passing Chicken Guy.
Yeah, I think Chicken Guy's just running his own race. Obviously battling both Dutch and Zach is going to hold him up.
I believe Chicken Guy's race is with Tim 12 and his team, mate.
Is Panda going to go for this? No, he hangs back, thinks better of it.
Brandon Man is in the DRS slipstream of Tim 12. He's going to look down the inside. No, he's not. He's locked up slightly. Loses the back end. And all that hard work down the straight has been lost because of one late braking zone into turn 1. He has to go again this race. This lap, rather.
I think it's the last time I looked. Joe Burns has taken nearly a second out of Aaron.
I know. He's really pushing himself now, isn't he, Joe? Obviously disappointed with where he qualified. Feels like he could have done a bit more. That gap was around 4.5 seconds to Aaron. Could Aaron be conserving his tyres maybe, or... Joe's definitely pushing a bit more than Aaron.
I mean, there's definite banding appearing on those rear tyres for Aaron now. I don't know if that is going to affect him too much.
Well, if Remco had just got a better exit, then he could have had a go at Plexits. He might still yet. Just wait and see.
Panda with the fastest lap of the race. See, at this point in time, the super soft strategy for Zach and Remco is, it's done alright. I think for it to work properly, I believe, as Dutch pitted, Zach would have needed to have took him there and then just kept him behind. I think it's going to be hard from that for Zach to catch Dutch at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially Dutch on 2 lap younger tyres.
like me and Pagani having a race in real life. You know, I'm like 50 years younger than him, so I'm gonna win. You know, the old folk don't fare too well.
I'd be careful with what you're saying here, James.
I was gonna say, it's size older than me, so...
Well, it's the heart that matters.
I am one of the league's elder statesmen.
You're the granddad.
Not quite. I'm not the oldest in the league, but I'm not far away.
I think I'm probably one of the younger drivers. I think is Rich T the youngest?
I think that might actually be Shrimpy now.
Oh god, yeah. He's actually put in the chat that he prefers Bahrain and feels like he actually might finish a race tomorrow. Confidence
Okay.
from Shrimpy.
If Aaron can keep ahead of Cress, which he does, he's got a nice pocket of clean air to drive into now. He's got an 8-second gap to Ox. So he can get some good use out of these soft compound tyres.
If I was you, I wouldn't look in the YouTube comments.
Oh. It's you basically old you to put it bluntly, is what they're saying.
I'm only 25.
What's that Ravers has said?
Old genitalia.
Given that he is older than me.
Nah. It's alright.
Get back to work.
Yeah, Ravers. You're awful at Rocket League, mate. Joe Andy and Joe Burns are both into the pits. Now it'll be interesting to see where they both come out. They've done 17 laps on those soft tyres. They're going to try and get 13 laps on the softs. If I'm correct, no, it'll be 12. It will be 12. I'm slow, sorry.
Right, Remco is still looking for a way past Plexits. He's been about this distance behind for maybe 3 laps now.
What's his battery saying?
It looks pretty full to me.
This could be a long game for Remco. He knows if he can stay within and save his battery, he can have a push at the
he's got 85-ish%. It's up to 90 now.
The bad thing is with this though is Remco's got to remember that Plexits is on a much fresher set of mediums than he is.
Well, that's the thing. If you're Remco, you need to get this done earlier, get the track position and try and defend it.
It's easier to defend than attack. Unless you're Pagani and you can't do anything.
Yeah, I tend to just like pull over at the side of the road, stop the car, and just let everybody through.
Yeah, you're a Sunday driver, aren't you?
Sometimes, but usually on a Sunday. But you know,
if it stays how it is, this is how Goy called it.
Well, is that his Predictor League predictions he's talking about?
Yep.
Well, if Plexits can catch and get past Zach, that's how I've called it.
I can't remember how I called it. However, I mean, do we really expect Goy to be right about something?
Well, I mean, he's Goy.
So
to be fair, he didn't get them in time.
He didn't get them in time, so it doesn't even matter.
There we go. We should laugh.
Well, I mean, I can't lie. I put Ravers down for a shot podium and then realised at 10 to 8 that Ravers was at work. So I also said that Tico would win the race and Plexits would come second. So Tico's DNF'd. Ravers didn't start and Plexits is my only chance now.
Well,
I also said I'd go with a shock and go Cat for pole. So I know that Cat went for the softer compound tyre in Spain. That didn't go well. Yeah, well. Thanks Ravers.
Aaron in 2 laps has halved his gap to Ox, who's been overtaken by Panda and is struggling to stay within DRS range now.
I think the podium might be out of reach for the Renault boys. I believe the top 4 now, we will stay how it is, and I think they'll just battle it out now. I think Dutch is sort of just got a race management with this and just sort of
well, we know how good Dutch's race management is from last week.
Yeah, it was fantastic, wasn't it? Zach just needs to keep Plexits behind him, keep him within that 1 second buffer. Remco needs to get a better run than Plexits out of one of these corners or wait for a mistake. Yes, Matt, well done for repeating me. He's also said it'll be like that tomorrow as well. There'll be no podium for the Renault boys. Lads, how do you feel about that?
There might be a banana up the inside of your Ferrari, so watch how you talk.
Right, best of luck, Matt. I'd like to see you finish Bahrain.
Well, Matt Cause has just lit a fire in my belly the same way I lit the fire in his belly in pre-season. I intend to prove him wrong.
There's a virtual safety car.
Okay,
now,
a chance for drivers to recover some fuel and battery.
Well, how long is this going to be out for? Will someone make a dive into the pits?
Where was Cress? He's lost it out of the fast chicane going down to turn 8. Yeah. It wasn't very long, they're underway again already.
Ah. Up 20 at 29 here. Just coming on to 21 as the leaders across the start-finish line. It's Dutch, followed by Zach. Third is Plexits, Remco 4th. That's the top battle. The midfield battle is between Panda in 5th, Ox in 6th, Aaron in 7th, Joe in 8th. Now the soft tyre runners now are really going to have to start pushing themselves if they want to catch the medium tyres, because the early start of the soft tyre they are going to be faster, but towards the latter stage of the race they're going to be knackered compared to the medium tyre. I must say as well, Co-Andy is taking up his last point after qualifying second last behind Cat, ahead of Cat, sorry.
Now just keep an eye on that gap between him and Tim, because he could well catch and make a move there with a tyre advantage.
Yeah.
I've just had a quick check and we've still only got the 1 penalty so far.
It's a weird track, this.
Yeah,
There's not many opportunities to actually
I don't think Bahrain's really a track you get a high number of penalties.
Unless you me.
I usually get one on the exit of Bendel Bottleneck if I exceed track limits a little bit. And I think
that's because you're awful at F1, mate.
I never said I was any good. So.
Ah, that's fair cop.
The Ferrari boys have started at each other in the chat.
I just saw that. I must say I was doing some 5-lappers with Matt Corus last night, and he's looking quite quick. From behind me, that was. He was looking quite quick. So yeah, so let's see how he copes around Bahrain.
He was looking quite quick on a 5-lapper because there was no opportunity to pit, so he stayed away from the pit lane.
Exactly. It's the only reason.
The super jails in the pits. Going up the super soft there.
Are we going for a fastest lap?
Good for him. I mean, there's no points for it, but
no. But I mean, what's he got to lose? He was 5-ish seconds off Chicken Guy, wasn't he? And
Co-Andy's caught a second on him. So
as I was saying, those soft tyre players needed to push. Right, sorry about that, Pagani.
Oh, that's fine. You got Ox that is within the area of the band there again.
Aaron has sort of fell away from this group.
Yeah, he's not doing what he'd be hoping.
Aaron told me he was fancying a top 6 finish. Obviously 7th. His obesity from being the pack controller has slowed him down a bit here. Only had just lost weight. Slim controller. Hammer Time has said that Matt is going to bin it, then turn 6. He's called him out. What time was he doing in qualifying? Well, I'll tell you what, Bahrain has been an interesting race. First time commentating on it, and threw up a couple of surprises here.
It has, but it's a very long race.
It is a very long race, isn't it?
There's some tracks like Monza that like pass very quickly, but this one seems to.
It's one of the longer tracks in the calendar, isn't it?
It is for a 30-lap race.
I mean, I can't wait for Monaco next week. That'll be an interesting one.
It'll be a short race for many, I think.
Yeah. Me and you included in that.
Yeah. I did. I've done a 5-lapper at Monaco and I crashed and took Panda with me, so.
that is Pagani fashion if you don't know. 5-lappers and safety ratings don't really go well with Pagani.
I think what we might need for next week's stream is maybe a crossword puzzle or something, because after about 5 or 6 laps and half the field's crashed out, there's not going to be a lot to talk about.
No, there isn't. You are correct there. But obviously with Monaco next week, track position more important than strategy. So we might see some strategy calls in Monaco.
Super Jules does get his fastest lap. Co-Andy has caught Tim 12.
He has indeed. Now, I want to suggest, like, we've had, well, this is the second race now, but it's the second race in succession that Chicken Guy appears to be struggling slightly with the pace of Div 1.
Yeah, well, Chicken Guy obviously in Div 2 last season was Mr. Consistent himself. Don't think he DNF once, he always scored points. Mr. Steal Your Points. But seems to be struggling with Div 1. It is a much bigger jump, Div 1. Div 2 to Div 1 rather. Difficult for many. Obviously yourself, Pagani. You're awful. Yeah. You struggled.
Yeah. I struggled to make it past turn 1 without wing damage.
So. Yeah, exactly. And players like Matt Kors would have struggled in the past in Div 1. When there was only Div 1.
I can't remember finishing a Div 1 race, to be honest.
No. Hammer Time 95 has
Tim's
said
gone.
Oh, Tim's.
He's drifted round turn 8. Got a 3-second time penalty for it, but he's held it. He's lost a position, but he's held it.
However, Bendel Bottleneck could be interesting if he's overheat those tyres.
I'll say it will not have done his rear tyres any good. I'm going to go on board with him. Well, he's kept it flat.
What's happening?
As I was saying, Hammer Time has said that pad users might struggle around Monaco. That is very true.
But because we can't really get round the hairpin.
It is very true, the hairpin is very difficult.
Up to the back of Zach.
Now that's going to pull Remco along as well. So this is now a three-way fight for the second place.
Yeah, has Plexit's managed to keep a bit of life in his tyres for these last couple of laps, knowing that Zach and Remco went in earlier?
Well, I mean, if you look at the lap times, the laps that they've done on the mediums, Zach obviously has a 1 lap fresher than Remco, but Plexit's 3-4 laps younger tyres than both of them. And the thing is that's so crucial towards the end of the race, especially on the medium compound tyre. Any little bit of wear is a marginal gain in time. And while he's got DRS and coming into late braking zones and everything, he can be later on the brakes, faster at the entry of corners, less wheel spin. At the moment, he's just sort of got to negotiate Zach out of the way and leave him and a Remco to play. He's catching up now. Has he got enough overspeed to go look down the inside? He hasn't.
No.
He thinks better of it.
Well, quite a suggest that Si's comment earlier about Rivers getting back to work hasn't really worked. He's been reading a dictionary and a thesaurus. Suggests that Tin 12 is such an enigma, brilliant one week and struggles the next week. Which is a fair statement.
Well, this is what we were talking about last week, though, wasn't it? Is what I brought up. I was like, in Div 2, he was one of the fastest drivers there was, but because he was so inconsistent, he couldn't win the league. He'd never win the league because of his inconsistency. He just needs to nail this down. He needs to either, concentrate on his race pace or concentrate on his qualifying. But I do believe that it is the race pace that lets him down with this, because he's definitely fast enough to challenge at the top, as we've seen in Spain. But it's just whether he can string the laps and the consistency around. Little errors like that little Tokyo drift he went for.
Jules is retired.
Unsurprisingly so.
Ooh. Joe Burns has overtaken Aaron, and Aaron's in the wall at Bendel Bottleneck. And is doing donuts. Those rear tyres are not going to be very happy.
10 laps on those softs. They're all starting to be heating up now anyway.
Plexit's went into the back of Zach, got away with wing damage though.
Aaron, however, has not been so lucky. 2 laps left. Does he pit? Does he hold on? He holds on. Bran the man, 2 seconds slower, 2 seconds behind him. Chicken guy, 2 seconds behind Bran. Could be an interesting place to interesting end to the race, rather. I mean, that's such a shame for Aaron. His qualifying was a bit meh. His race pace was slightly off. I just think it's been a bad day at the office for him. Still, he's gone a bit further up than what his qualifying was by 1 position. If he can hold on to these points now, I think he'd more than happily take that. As I say, that Brown has just gone round him. I think it's damage limitations now for Aaron. Wing damage on the pad is very hard to control, and very little room for correction. Chicken guy looks down the inside of Aaron. Aaron looks for the switchback. He gets better traction, but because those softs are preheated completely.
Right, Dutch has started his final lap. Plexit still can't find a way past Zach. He just can't get close enough down the straight. Is he going to send it? He is.
Will this allow for Remco to get a better run? Be an interesting end to the race. Zach hugs the inside there as he goes into the start of sector 2. Fast left, right. Make sure none of them bin it. None of them do. Zach and Plexit get a good run. Plexit takes a narrow line into turn 8. Plexit's with the most battery. Is he going to make a move? He's looking for it. Too much wheel spin for Remco there. I think he's out of it. Plexit's looking around the outside. Turn 9, 10? Turn 10. There's yellow flags in sector 2. That might be for Aaron.
Yeah, the dirty air off Zach's car is killing Plexits through turn 12. And I think that's just about going to do it for Zach.
As long as he doesn't lose it in this last corner.
So,
Great defence from Zach there.
Dutch crosses the line to win the race. Zach second, Plexits third, Remco fourth, Panda fifth. Great drive from Panda, to be fair.
Joe 7th. Andy, from second last on the grid, has picked himself up 8th place. I think Tim 12 will come round to finish in 9th, and Bran will pick up the last point of the grid after Aaron's spin on lap 27 or 28 rather. Here he is now, soldiering himself home. Around the last corner.
That penalty Tim got for pretending to be the Ken Block.
After Ken Block. That does mean that Brand does get 9th.
I'm wondering
Relegated to 10th.
I'm wondering if Tim might appeal that penalty, because he didn't exactly have control of his car when he picked up that third warning.
That is true, it's unfortunate. Game mechanics at its finest. But there he is, the man of the moment. Dutch with another win. To add to his many collection, to add to his silverware back in I don't know, Wesley Schneider. So it's fantastic there from the boys. 2 Dutch lads on the podium again.
I believe
well.
that with that win, Dutch has just become the driver with the most wins in Div 1.
I believe that might be a fact. 3rd on the grid. 2-stop strategy just didn't do any help for Zach there. It was the 1-stop of Dutch pulled him along. Good drive from Remco in the end. He was unfortunate on the 2-stop. Showed great pace on those super softs, as did Zach. I just think that undercut really did cost him. I think he did need to pit, however, but I think if he'd just gone one more lap, he would have been fresher towards the end of the race. Maybe could have caught Plexits. 5th place Panda, that's a fantastic result for him. Starting 6th on the grid, however, you know, but with little practice and, you know, Panda obviously having no practice for Spain either, you know, it's a decent result. Obviously Joe as well with a 7th place, that's not too bad. Co-Andy in 8th. It's a good result from the English lads.
Yeah, some good drives through the field.
Yeah, Matt Cors has said that Dutch will be very difficult to beat this season and he's a step above everyone else, and I don't think he's wrong. I just think the consistency, the smoothness, he's got everything nailed to a T.
Who's party owner?
Not too sure.
I believe you are.
In that case, I better invite some drivers for their podium interview.
Jill's Pills has said that Remco for the interview because he's got a crazy story and we need to hear it. Well, I'm wondering if he can put that in the chat for us.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening, lads. Good evening, lads.
Zach has no mic yet, I think.
He hasn't got a mic.
Okay,
Yeah.
in that case, I think we're going to hear Remco's stories. He finished P4. Bear with me.
Pretty good.
I'm disappointed.
Disappointed. We'll hear your stories in a minute. A lot of drama, I must say. There's a lot of drama in that race. But like I said in the commentary, Dutch, that's another home trophy you've taken home to Wesley Schneider back in the Deutschland.
Deutschland.
It's basically
okay.
the same thing, isn't it?
Don't you dare compare fucking Hitler with
James,
our
stop
country.
offending the
Yes.
drivers.
Sorry.
Jim, play nice.
I'm trying to think of something really Dutch to what did we say last week? Max Verstappen, Jos Verstappen,
Hey guys,
Austrian.
GG's.
Appeltaart, pindakaas. Okay.
How are you? You alright, Remco? Apparently you have an amazing story for us.
Yeah, apparently from Gillis. Yeah,
No,
I had to
apparently.
say that when I went out of the pit stop, and then I just spun around because of the cold tires. But that was a, yeah.
I didn't see that.
That was a joke which I had to say from Gillis. So just to get me into this party chat. I don't know why. Oh.
Right, we'll mix it up this week. Who wants to interview our race winner?
I don't mind. I'll go. Alright, Dutch. How are you, mate? How you feeling after that?
Very good, of course. Confident.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got a lot of support in the stream chat, mate, and some of us Div2 drivers are just thinking that you're uncatchable. I mean, how would you
so.
feel if someone said that?
I hope.
You
it
confident
will
with
be
your
like
pace?
that. Yeah, pretty confident. Feeling very confident on the pace. Like it's just a straight line, not overheating something or just driving
it's,
good pace.
Be unpredictable, really. That
Yeah.
will cost you from now on. Obviously, you didn't qualify in pole. I think it was third for you.
Yes.
Talk us through that. You didn't want to try the super soft. You didn't want to fall into their strategy. Go for the harder compound.
Yes, I thought if you go on the supers that you needed to make a two-stop. So I was on the softs and then I saw my lap and I was, damn, that's pretty quick. That's 4 times quicker than in my practice sessions. So
Yeah.
I was very happy with it. And then I saw only Zach and Remco were on the super soft. So I was stay behind them, keep on the pace. And they will make a mistake when the tires are getting overheated. And they need to make it two-stopper, but they managed to hold the tire pretty long.
Yeah.
So pretty good job by them. And yeah, I knew after that Zach got pretty worn tires at the end, so I pushed one lap and gained 8/10. So then after that was just cruising home.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd like to talk about that qualifying lap.
Yeah.
How? How? just right. I'm just gonna put it out there, right? My time trial time, right, on the super softs around here, right, is a 27.1, right? What did you get? A 26.5?
5.
A 26.5 on the softs, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, right. Well, that does incline that Div 2 drivers, if you're still in the chat, right, we're not good enough. We'll never be good enough. We're set up for failing. But yeah, no, mate, you controlled the race from start to finish.
Yes.
As soon as you took the lead, you never looked like losing it. Same as Spain, mate. Just best of luck for Monaco. Please don't bid it in the hairpin.
No.
No, well
You'll
done,
see me
Dutch.
next week again. So.
Love it.
Confidence.
Of course.
Right, well, Plexits managed P3 tonight.
Yep.
Fairly steady race from you until we got to the closing stages. Do you want to talk us about your battle with Zach? You just couldn't quite get it done.
Yeah, when I planned the overtake already one lap before, I really wanted to try it, but on the exit, on the straight when I wanted to try it, I got a wobble, so I couldn't catch him in time, and I didn't want to like just dive bomb him and get damage, so I just stay behind him then.
You know, it's a long season, so no need to really do anything drastic this early on.
Exactly.
Although I was rooting for you because I had you down for a P2 in my predictor.
Oh, sorry, man.
Never mind. I've at least got 1 point this week, so I'm off the mark. Yeah, so just following on from last week, it's another podium. Another 15 points towards your push for constructors.
Yeah.
Do you think you can maintain it for the rest of the season and maybe, you know, push towards both championships?
Yeah, I think we can do that, but I don't know, if I have no practice like today, I just can't keep up with Dutch, so I need to start practicing. Yeah, that's just the truth.
I mean, even still, for no practice, that's a pretty impressive race you've just had.
Honestly, I did one practice quali just before, like 20 minutes before, and there I set on the softs 27.4, so I was thinking, oh fuck, I fucked up.
No,
Still,
my time
pretty good lap.
27.6. I'm slow. Okay, I get
Confirmed,
it now.
yep.
But yeah.
Right, well, as we've already alluded to, you've got Monaco next week. How do you feel about Monaco?
If I get enough practice in, I'm confident around there, yeah. I'll be faster.
Okay, well, get the practice in, because
Will do.
we want to see someone take the fight to Dutch. No offence, Dutch, but
Yeah.
you know,
Hopefully not to do a TKO like last season.
I got bored of the Michael Schumacher era, so I don't want to do the same with Div1.
Oh, it's Megan, isn't it? Right, hang on. I'm not very good at this. Onto Remco. How do you feel that went for you?
It went pretty okay. This was pretty much my plan all along, to just get on supers, try to go for pole, but Zach just beat me to it, so that was a shame because I wanted that 2-point bonus or 1-point bonus. I don't know.
2
points.
2? Yeah, that's what I was aiming for, but I didn't manage to get it. P2 was still okay, so I just tried to manage the tires till lap 8 or 9. I think I pitted in lap 8, and I had to let Dutch go and Plexits too eventually. And after the pit stop, I could just follow Plexits all along, and I didn't even want to overtake because my tires were going to fall off eventually. So yeah, and in the end, I tried to follow and get close, but I just simply couldn't. So yeah, P4 is definitely a good result after last week, which was P7. So yeah, happy.
Nice. Obviously we've got Monaco coming up next. How do you feel your pace is around there?
I truly don't know. I haven't done a 50% race on Monaco, but around qualifying, I'm on iPad, so it's really hard to get into the hairpins and to get a really good time for pole, which will be, of course, important. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, I've attempted a 50% race, but I only made it to lap 1, so... Obviously some people don't know this, but you've recently joined our admin team. How
Yes.
do you feel joining a select group of us that are now admins of this?
Yeah, pretty nice. I mean, I know you guys for a while now, for like 2 months maybe, and which I really enjoyed. I played some games, and I really like this league because of its fairness and the players in it. So yeah, it is nice to be a part of it.
And the commentator, the preheated oven.
Sorry?
Nothing. I'm just saying, like, I'm one of the reasons you love the league so much.
Yeah, of course. And the commentators, yeah, definitely.
Say thank you. Sign me up, Sky Sports. I'm waiting for you. No, well done, Remco. Unfortunate to miss out on that podium, mate, but it's always next week.
Yeah.
That will be a very hard one, I think.
Alright, well, we'll wrap things up there. Join us tomorrow night for more Bahrain action. We've got Division 2, where myself, Preheated Oven and Panini will be doing our best not to bin it at the Bendel bottleneck. And hopefully our race can serve up as much action as the Div 1 race did tonight. So tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, this channel. We'll see you then.
You know where to be.